Hey everyone, what's up? It's Rachel. So today we have a very interesting topic. The other day I read an article that says Seoul's nightlife is changing. And I was like, you know what? I might relate to this. And the title goes, Who stays up drinking all night nowadays? Seoul's night as lights go out. A little bit dramatic, right? As I've been making videos for the past few years, I've been always saying there's something special about Seoul's nightlife because it is the city that never sleeps. There are stores that are stays up all night, 24 hours. People go hard drinking, partying all the time, and there's an article now. It says things are changing. So let's read what's going on. Let's get into it. So the article goes, in famous districts known for vibrant nightlife in Seoul, the neon signs of late-night businesses are gradually flickering out. This trend is observed not only in renowned food alleys and university areas, but also in convenience stores that operate 24 hours a day, as well as clubs in front of Hongdae. So it says stores are closing the doors at 10 p.m. And that is when the COVID social distancing started. Like there was a rule that stores must close down at 9 p.m., 10 p.m., and they are keeping the regulations. All right, let's read some more. Analysis suggests that changes in company dinner culture after COVID-19, along with skyrocketing labor costs and ingredient prices, have drastically changed Seoul's nightlife culture, known as a city that never sleeps. This is so true. So I quit my corporate job right before COVID hit. So I didn't exactly experience the company dinner culture after the COVID-19, but I've heard a lot of the changes from my friends and from everywhere actually. Before COVID, people used to stay up all night. It didn't matter that we had to get up early in the morning the next day and have to go to work again. People stayed up. That was a little nuts, to be honest. But during COVID, having company dinner was extremely prohibited, and it wasn't even allowed, right? Of course, like lockdown and regulations restricts, of course, but even when the restriction lifted off, the culture has changed. Now people don't really go hard at company dinner. There is no hard drinking. It's definitely not the same as before. And here it says company dinner culture and skyrocketing labor costs and ingredient prices. Yeah, so it seems like there are a lot of factors that is creating the change. Convenience stores synonymous with 24-hour operation are now closing their doors after midnight in 1 out of every 5 locations. In areas like Hongdae and Itaewon, known for dense club scenes, some establishments are closing during weekdays and only operating for 2 days on Fridays and Saturdays. With the disappearance of late-night drinking culture, businesses in university areas like Sinchon are also vanishing, no longer staying open past midnight. The common reasons behind this are the burden of labor costs and a sharp decline in late-night customers. This is making me a little bit sad because when I first came back from the States, Sinchon was my first home, and my sister and I loved the Sinchon area that never really goes to sleep. It was literally open for 24 hours. Yeah, it would be super annoying now. Like me, Rachel, now would hate the music sound, the loud noises outside the door. I love where I live now. But back then, I don't know, like I just loved the vibe. When I step out the door, immediately it's the party scene. I used to love that, and it's a weird feeling. It's a bitter feeling that hearing that Shinchon is now changing forever. But yeah, so this change is happening with the normalization of early returns home for office workers and the rise of solo self-employment. The image of Seoul as a city that never sleeps has become a thing of the past. It's becoming a thing of the past. You know what, guys? I think it's true because when before COVID, I used to go out a lot, and I do now too. I go out with my friends and I hang out, but that usually stops on until the first round. It's okay, but for the second round, we my friends and we just say, hey, let's go to so and so's house, so and so's home, and we could pack some snacks from the convenience store, and yeah, let's drink at your place, at my place, at their places. So we don't do bar tours anymore. Like, you know, in Korea, bar hopping is really common. From the first place and the second place and the third place, usually it goes up to third places for sure. And by the time it's the third place, it's usually like after midnight. But now, after we have dinner with some drinks, we just say, hey, let's pack up some snacks from the convenience store and let's watch some movie together and let's drink at my place because I've got movies at my place, and yeah, it's gonna be a good time. But the truth is, people all know that it's a little bit like it's a lot to spend that much money after having a dinner these days. Like, to go to a second place and to the third place, of course, like we can, but we can't do it every single time we hang out, because that's gonna add up, and that's gonna be a huge burden. It's if we are gonna hang out regularly, and if it's gonna be our thing for like if it's gonna be the thing that we do whenever we are hanging out, then hitting bars after one another every single time is not gonna work out because it's too expensive. The price of soju and beer have gone up drastically. It's crazy. It's literally doubled up now. It used to be like 3,000 won or 4,000 won, but now it's like 6,000 won. And when I go to a decent bar/restaurant, it's more than that. So literally, it's 2 times more expensive now. And also, if we pull up our phone, delivery service is crazy these days. It's super easy. Delivery service, it used to be, of course, it's been here for forever. It's been always so easy, but now it's even better, super fast, and so much cheaper. Also, there's meal kit as well. Yeah, so I think money is playing a big part in this change. Of course, labor costs and ingredient prices having gone up, that plays a part as well. But definitely from the customer side, yeah, having a dinner with friends is always super fun. But go bar after bar thing, that could be a little too much. Also, people have mentioned that the price for the taxi fee is a lot to take. I don't usually take taxis because I usually hang out in my neighborhood when I am going out, because I live in like university areas still. Like it's a walking distance, so it's fine. But let's say if I hung out in Gangnam area, and then if I were to come back to where I live in Hapjeong area, then the taxi price is gonna be crazy. Let's say during the day, it's gonna be like about 20,000 won, but you have to think of the extra fee surcharge. The extra charge from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. it's 20% more. The surcharge is 20% more, and from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. it's 40% more, and from 2 a.m. to 4 p.m. it's 20% more. So from 10 p.m. it's gonna be 20% from 40% surcharge. Is it worth it? Really? It's gonna be super expensive. So adding to the base cost 20,000 won and the extra amount 40%, dude, I would rather just come home with my friend and just chill here. Because we've got food, we've got movie, we've got great couch. Why? Why do we have to go out? And that explains why bars and restaurants are closing down after 10 p.m. Nowadays, it's a little bit like that is why it is changing. And you might say, maybe it is because people are getting old and they have to care about their health. It's not like, Rachel, you are in your early 20, now you want to care for your health and all that, like, yeah, partying every day, yeah, go crazy. That age, that era have passed. Yeah, maybe that is true, but it is not entirely true. Definitely money plays a big part. Honestly, if somebody is willing to cover for me, and if the bar is covering for all the food and all the drinks, I'm down to hang out. And if I have a free pass for my taxi fee, who cares? I'm going out. So yeah, it's definitely the money issue. And if people, yeah, I think a lot of people in Korea feel the same way, and that is why people are now going out much less. And also, there is this thing too. People are now getting more independent, and before COVID, it was more like the group setting. People cared more for the social life and hanging out with a bunch of other people, and so my social life is super important. But now, after going through the whole COVID era, people are now realizing, and people learned how to spend time with themselves, and that is okay. You know what? Hanging out with myself alone is super fun. If I learned one thing, I'm a super fun person to hang out with. I don't need anyone. Like, I'm fun. I'm awesome. I don't need anybody. So people became more independent, and people realized I don't need to chase the social life just because all the other people says it is a great thing or whatever. I value my happiness, and I value my life way more than anything else. And one area that I spend my time more, that was a weird sentence. One area that I spend more is on online. I play video games way more now, and I have a clan, and I've met so many great friends there. So yeah, I'm still social, but my friends are in the computer world. You know what I mean? So that is changing. And here's another fun, interesting article to read. Let's get into it. Culture of staying up all night in university areas disappears. Dun dun dun. The disappearance of the all night culture is also evident in university areas. It's now challenging to find 24-hour restaurants in Sinchon, Seoul, where Yonsei University, Seogang University, Ewha Women's University, and others are located. This is super sad. Places where students used to spend their nights moving from one venue to another. This is what I was telling you about. Like from a first round bar to a second round barbecue restaurant and then to a third round karaoke have been closing their doors at 10 p.m. since 2 years ago, when dormitory doors open or until the first morning subway arrives. College students are saying that the culture of drinking all night has disappeared from university areas since COVID-19. Park, a 23-year-old who entered university in 2020, said, "Since COVID, if you suggest going for a second round after drinking, everyone feels awkward." Adding, "These days, it's more common to gather in someone's studio apartment to watch a movie or drink moderately together." This is literally what I said. Literally what I said. Swear to God, I didn't read the article in advance, just the title, but this is so true. This is what is happening nowadays. Even Club C on Hongdae Street now operates only 2 days a week on Fridays and Saturdays, closing its doors for 5 weekdays. The owner, Mr. Lee, said, "With the rise in prices and labor costs, operating on weekdays leads to losses of hundreds of thousands of won per day," explaining, "As the drinking college students have almost disappeared, we switched to weekend operations targeting outsiders who visit the area." So, tourists, right? It seems like the drinking culture in Korea is now changing. Surely is changing. And you know what, honestly, when I think about this, I wonder, how did we do it in the past? How did we really do it? I was working every single day, and I used to go out with my coworkers until 2 a.m. to 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning. Of course, not every day, but when we went out hard, and we got up, we met up early in the morning, and we got coffee together. We got hangover food together. So I wonder, like, how did we do that? The company drinking culture, and even in, it's crazy. And also, there is this toxic drinking culture in Korea. There used to be, and still there is. There is a lot of problems in Korea involved in drinking culture because people are so lenient to drinking culture, drunk people, and the problems that they cause. So if you're changing, and if people go home after the feeling of like a little buzz, and then they go home, and who cares if they drink some more safely in their own houses, at their own places. Like, that's way healthier in my opinion. But college students too, now they don't mix soju and beer and go crazy. Nowadays people just drink highball, like sparkling water with a shot or two of whiskey. That's really cool. I love it. I make it myself at home, of course. So now it is changing. Now it's like not that like hard drinking culture. I used to say that a lot in my previous videos. People go crazy here, but I guess not anymore. Yeah, because I don't do that anymore myself either. So yeah, like, it's time to accept the change. But one thing that I worry, two things. One, there were many good memories from that era, like many fond memories, and I am kind of sad that the era is over, and now things are gonna change, and that is a little bit like a sad feeling. And two, this is a more serious one. I'm a little bit worried that this might mean the decline of Korea's economy. The article mentioned the ingredient prices going up and the labor cost, and people not being able to spend that much money for their dinner and for their parties, going out, night outs. Yeah, I hope this doesn't mean our economy is going down and this creating the whole downward cycle. But of course, it does. It means that. So yeah, I hope not. I hope we are safe, right? But what do you guys think? If you haven't visited Korea, I'm super sad that you won't be able to experience the fun nightlife in Korea as it was before COVID. But it's not so bad. People still go out at night, not as much, but still, there are still like some restaurants that are open for 24/7, 24 hours. So the nightlife culture is still there, but it's just changed. But yeah, I thought it was interesting. This article really shows what is happening in Seoul, what is happening in Korea these days. So I thought it is worth to cover, and hope it was interesting. Hope it gave you something to think about. And please let me know what you think about this change that are happening in Seoul. And yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.